Oh, there we go. We're on, guys.
Oh, Safe Moon is back, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go.
No, it's definitely
I'm joking. It definitely is not. Safe Moon is dead, and it should be dead.
Guys, the market is pumping. We're finally seeing some green candles. What's going on in the market this week? We're going to cover upcoming news, things that are going to be happening within the next week, and some altcoin alpha that you guys need to know if you want to take the most advantage out of the markets. Before we start off, let us know in the comments where you're from. Please smash that like button. We're seeing in the chat, is it too late to open positions, or should I wait for reversal shorts? Some of that stuff you're going to find out on this call, because we actually are going to do some live analysis.
Got some charts ready to rumble.
You got some charts? Well, Maddie, let's jump straight into, first off, what's happening with Bitcoin, mate?
Oh, we're not talking about Safe Moon.
We're not talking about Safe Moon.
Hey, I got $5 million crypto scam.
I told you that was a scam.
That was a joke.
Let's get into it. Let's get into Bitcoin. So we've had a bit of a pump finally. We're starting to looks like it was a big accumulation zone. But Maddie, take a look at what's happening there. Let's rip open the charts.
Ooh, all right. So keeping this one really simple for everyone, we charted this up on Monday and also spoke about it last week. We spoke about the fact that we were dipping below this towards this 50 EMA. We actually hit that to a T, and now we've sort of bounced back up. I'll bring you guys into another chart later, but we had some really good action over the last basically 24 hours. We went from 114 up towards nearly 118,000, which,
the altcoins love that.
It was great to see, finally.
The altcoins love that. Gave them a nice little push.
It gave them about 10% push. So that was absolutely awesome. But I won't lie, we overextended a fair bit over the last 24 hours. That big pump off, obviously, the crypto news we're going to talk about in a little while. We're going to cover that. But right now, we are very much up against the volume zone. You can see it here. We have put in an evening star, which means it might be a bit of a reversal happening at the moment. It wouldn't surprise me if we do come back and we retest around that 115K level anyway.
Well, I want to know what our viewers want to see. Do you want to see, on today's call, do you want to see longer term analysis, or do you want to see shorter term analysis? Let us know in the chat. We're probably going to do both, but let us know what you want to see first. And I think let's address the elephant in the room straight up off the bat. Why did Bitcoin pump? What caused it, Matty? So
we had the big Trump sign order yesterday. Mr. Donald Trump.
Oh, wrong button. Oh, there we go.
Go for it, Ced. Take it away.
So Trump has given the approval to allow people's retirement funds to now be invested into the crypto space. And that's massive, because you got to think of what's going to drive the market up in terms of money coming in. We need to see more money come into the market in order to see prices go up higher. We're starting to see a lot of investment coming from companies and even countries, but now we're also seeing that Trump has opened the floodgates more or less now to allow for people's pensions funds to come in. And we looked at as a lot of potential money to come in. If we have a look at why this is such a big deal, Trump's executive order could allow crypto, private equity, and real estate inside 401 retirement accounts. That means tax-deferred or tax-free crypto trading, exposure to alt assets previously locked out of retirement plans, a path for trillions in retirement capital to now potentially look at flowing into the crypto markets, and a massive win for financial freedom and self-directed investing. So it's actually really, really big, and that's what's caused the pump that we saw overnight. You can see that people are starting to price in that announcement. But where we need to look at is this all just a big, how can I say it? People are just getting a little bit too excited about all this news. What exactly, what does it have any merit to it? That's probably the biggest thing. And for what we can see here, that there's about $9 trillion right now that's being held in US retirement accounts. And, last week we spoke about this. It was last week or the week before, and we said how some of the big financial advisors now, they're turning around and saying that people should be allocating between 3% to 10% of their portfolio. When you put that into perspective, at 10%, 900 billion coming into the market. 900
trillion.
No, it's 9 trillion in total, so 10%.
Yes.
10% of you're fried.
900 million. That's 900 million. 10%.
Yeah, 900 million. Yeah. He said 900 trillion.
No.
Guys, let us know in the chat. Did he say trillion or billion?
900.
Anyway, $900 billion to flow into the crypto markets is definitely not a small number to talk about. But even say we only get 3% of that, right? Which is, the standard 1 to 3%.
Well, I reckon we should break this down a little bit further.
Yeah.
Right.
What are we
So
going to do?
what we have to understand as well, me and Seds were talking about this earlier, is we're talking about alternative assets.
Yeah.
So this alternative asset bill, we'll call it, right? Not just crypto for the 401ks. Could be anything from art. It could be basically anything that falls into the category of an alternative asset, with crypto obviously being one of the big ones. So like I say, if we get 3% of that, still a lot of money.
3% of that's huge. That would put $300 billion into the market.
Roughly.
That's enough to send some coins, quite vertical, if it all came in one hit anyway, which it probably won't. But something to definitely consider. So that is good to see that more money is now being able to access the market. I don't expect that as of tomorrow, that's going to start accessing the market. I'm assuming, just like anything else, they're probably going to have to go through some paperwork. They're going to get on the phones and start calling these retirement people, however it works, and they're going to be like, hey, do you want to allocate? Do you want to do this? Start pitching it out there, pitching out the idea of what the returns could be, create all that paperwork and framework around it. So I don't expect that to come in today, but the bill has passed today.
The bill's passed.
That doesn't mean you're going to see the money flow in today. So definitely for a longer term view, very, very exciting. Shorter term, we'll basically probably won't see too much come from that, as of today. Let's having a look in the chat. Oh, we got Lewis Kazar has come back. Lewis is back 2 weeks from 130K. I'm backing myself in. Welcome back, mate. Hey, Lewis, I want to share something with you. So,
wait, just before you jump into that, the alternative, this whole section about the 401k, I think it's a really big topic right now, because you even look in Australia, self-managed super funds right now are the hot topic. And I'm thinking big exchanges are starting to step in. We had some great meetings today with one of the massive global exchanges, and they're talking about the same thing, self-managed super funds. So we see this now in Australia. We see it now in America. It just means what's going to happen across the globe, because this is $9 trillion in only America. It's not talking about everywhere else in the world. The early
probably
adoption
won't happen in Australia,
because
because Australia is still if you look at Australia on the world map, we're very behind.
We don't have $9 trillion.
Nah, bro, we're still using iPhone 6s compared to the countries that are using iPhone 15s, bro. We are
all getting taxed more.
Yeah, we're just getting pumped with tax.
So be careful. ATO might be watching us. We don't do anything wrong, just an FYI. We are very much by the board.
But anyway, so look, it does definitely open it up, whether it be US, whether it starts to be Europe, the UK. Eventually, maybe one day, Australia, who knows? But it does open up that opportunity. If one country starts off by doing it, other countries will later potentially follow that suit. So really exciting stuff. But this one here that I want to share, this is for Lewis. This is important because last week, Lewis, we discussed interest rates, and you come out and said that my prediction for 130K within that 3 week time period that I said, it was a little bit unrealistic, you thought. Now, I just want to bring this up here. I want to give you a bit of my personal analysis. So what we're seeing right now is that the FOMC, which are the guys who decide the interest rates, right? This is really important because the interest rates tend to depict how much more money will flow into open markets. And if interest rates come down, we tend to get a bit of a pump, from all risk assets across the board tend to first off see a bit of a dump and then a pump as more money gets injected into the system. Now, last week, the percentage was sitting at, I think, 80% of an interest rate cut. And that was on my live call on Tuesday. Then I went on the live stream podcast on Friday and they had dropped to 40%. And, Lewis was pumping me in the chat, right? And
he gave you a bit.
He gave it to me a bit. Our deal's still on.
Fair game.
He never inboxed me. He never messaged me, and we never cut that deal. But my deal still stands.
Get a t-shirt.
And a free month in Empire. I'm giving him $250 worth of Empire for this, yeah?
True.
Anyway, but at that time, it was 40%. What we're now seeing right now is here on the CME FedWatch tool. This is the official CME website where they gauge what they think the interest rate's going to be. And it's actually got a 91.4% chance of now cutting the interest rate. So I'll show you how I did my analysis.
Fast does stuff change?
Oh, it's because
in the matter of a week.
Oh, it's crazy. I always said, coming into September. So anyway, this was the exact date on the 17th of September that rates were last cut. And although they were cut at a 0.5% cut, not a 0.25%, so it was a bigger cut, we did see the market rally from 56 to approximately 110,000. Nonetheless, it's almost 100% rally, right? We're getting a
massive
0.25%, I think, is pretty much guaranteed. They're not 100% yet, 92% guaranteed. There's a lot of talk of it being a potential 0.5% rate. But where this did come bullish is that, yes, they're going to cut 25 basis points in September,
But
but
just
they're
is that saying 3 consecutives?
3 consecutives. That's
So
right.
what are they saying? September, October, November?
So you got September, 0.25%.
Yep.
October, they're going to cut them again.
Ooh, potentially.
Right,
Yeah.
potentially. There's a high rate of that. And then December, sorry, here we go, December. And then December, they're looking at cutting again. So technically what you're
Christmas
getting,
present.
that's right. You're actually getting a 1% cut or a 0.75% cut across 3 months,
Big.
which is more than the 0.5% cut that occurred here, which gave you a 100% almost rally in the markets.
Yes.
So you put 2 and 2 together. That's where it's looking. Now, this also comes at a time where we're getting the institutional money flowing in. We're getting the retirement funds. We're getting all of the bullish crypto legislation and paperwork coming in to see what we need. So, mate, my analysis, I'm standing by it, man. Let me just show you one more thing. You know, one of the things I like to look at is, you know, I want to personally, like, this is not financial advice. This is more or less just how I'm going to be positioning myself. I want to be in the market. I'm going to be looking for longs coming into the end of August, because I think, given the fact that the cuts are quite they're not guaranteed, but there's quite high probability.
Yep.
I think that the market will start to price that in probably 2 weeks before the cut actually happens, or at least we might see some bullish momentum. You know, it's very similar to what we saw here, where, you know, the cut was on the 17th. We marked the bottom on the 7th. 11 days later, we got the cut. You could see there was a bit of a run. It wasn't nothing huge, but from 52,000 to 60,000, that's still a 15% pump, right?
Yep.
Put that into perspective, what that could look like here with a 15% pump.
You know what that brings us to?
15%, well, bruv, we're at 130K.
And this is something we talk about a lot at the moment. It's the numbers look massive, but the percentage gains aren't huge.
No.
Right? So people have this conscious effect. They're looking at it and they're going, all right, 130,000 US dollar Bitcoin. And the reality is, it's not massive in the grand scheme of things from a percentage standpoint. This sort of stuff happens. We've seen Bitcoin rally now. Bitcoin's rallied, what, 4% this week?
4%, yeah, and everyone's
Roughly.
going wild. Bull market's back on. You know?
If you run another 15%, that's going to be absolutely massive. What I was going to say is, Lewis, you haven't got Facebook. We're on Instagram, mate. If you've got Instagram, shoot us a message on there, right? We're across the socials.
So we've got some altcoins to show you guys as well.
Before, I want to touch base on this still, Seds, because this here is massive news. And there's one thing that we can both, I guess, agree on, is the fact of, if interest rates are dropping, it can also mean a bit of economic distress.
Of course.
Right? So that is why, guys, they typically look to drop interest rates, because, like, we need to start to stimulate the economy. Things are slowing down, you know. Trump obviously wants to refinance his debt, so he's not paying as much interest as well. But they want to sort of step back and go, hey, how do we stimulate the economy again after such a high tightening process? So now this is going to be interesting. I'm really looking forward to,
is the thing.
paying less mortgage. Right, as a big one. So hopefully we're flowing on in Australia already. I think we had rate cuts this month, to be honest.
Oh, I'm not too sure.
But this is going to be interesting how it
this is the
plays
thing.
out.
They stimulate the economy because they lower the rates to stimulate the economy. That's showing it's in a bit of turmoil.
Yes.
But the byproduct of that is the M2 money supply, which I'm going to show you guys in a second, goes up in most cases, and Bitcoin follows that M2 money supply.
We have run the data on that one.
I'm just reading the comments. Lewis, 52K to 60K is not 15%. Bruv. Let me just, 52K. You know what? I'm going to be generous. 52,700 to 60K. Is about 15%.
Oh, Lewis, mate, you got to calm down here, bro. You have to calm down.
He loves ripping me, but anyway, it doesn't matter. So, look, I know you're saying that you don't have Instagram. Make an account on Empire. Links in the chat below. That's our social media platform for crypto traders. Happily DM myself or Matty Stella, and we'll give you a free month in Empire. So
let's get into altcoins. Don't get some juicy charts
before we do, there is just a quick chart that I just wanted to show. And then, yes, we are going to look at altcoins. Specifically, one big one that I'm keeping my eye on. There's some big stuff happening at the minute, and I'm very excited to show you guys the data. So session disconnected. Hey, what are you doing here, mate? Anyway, so let's just take a quick look at how this works in terms of the interest rates. And you can see that when the interest rates are cut, the M2 money supply tends to head up, meaning that there's more dollars in circulation. And that's basically a leading indicator for Bitcoin. You can see the price of Bitcoin has followed the M2 money supply quite closely, but with a delay. So you can see here, the M2 money supply started to head down, and that was an early indicator to start getting out of the market. So that's something that I watch really, really closely. But look, as well as what we're seeing with the retirement funds, we're now also seeing that Japan's publicly traded Convano company has just announced that they're going to buy $2.5 billion worth of Bitcoin. We're also seeing MicroStrategy, $4.2 billion worth of Bitcoin. And we're seeing Coinbase also raising $2 billion worth of Bitcoin. So I think gone are the days when people would turn around and say, oh, what's the point of buying Bitcoin? It's a scam. It's this, it's that. Well, it's pretty clear that some of the biggest companies in the world, excuse me, are now starting to buy. I'm recovering from the flu. I feel sorry for Matty sitting next to me.
Bit of man flu.
Yeah, he's going to be wrecked tomorrow morning. Anyway, I do see now that the big institutions are starting to come in, and they're coming in with big amounts of money. Now, I want to ask you guys one question. If you've enjoyed this content so far, please smack like and hit subscribe. We go live every single Friday to give you guys the alpha. Now, Matty, we need to talk about the altcoins.
We got a couple big altcoins because we've had a ripper time on the charts this week.
Mate,
I won't lie, we nailed some absolute beauties. Dogecoin 10% pump straight off the gate on Monday. Beautiful. XLM, Stella Lumens back and pumping alongside XRP. Ethena taking off as well. And one of the big ones is what's happening in the background with the Link at the moment. And I don't think people know much about this.
Let's talk about Link.
So let's get into it.
You know what the saddest thing is, guys? I actually bought Link on day one when it was at ICO. And then I went to, if you're in Australia, you'll know this restaurant, but I was at Hungry Jack's. And
restaurant? You call it a restaurant?
It's a restaurant, right? I was at Hungry Jack's and I was going through the drive-through and I saw it dumping and I was like, stuff it, I'm going to sell it, I'm going to buy it back later, right?
Yeah.
By the time I got from the drive-through to the first window, they had announced a partnership with Google. It pumped 300%. Not shitting you, and I just thought, fuck it from there. Like I never got back into it. Anyway. So,
hey, can we just make a note of what's happening in the chat? Can you see frogs popping up in the chat?
I don't want to see frogs popping up in the chat, Drip, because you know what he's going to do at the end of this call. He's going to show his shitcoin. But anyway, so Sergey Nazarov, or whatever his name is, from Link has announced that there's going to be a strategic reserve buy that's going to be happening weekly for Link. So we looked last week at some of these companies like SBET who are accumulating heavy amounts of Ethereum, and they're going out there raising $40 billion or whatever the number is, $4 billion, and then they're going out and buying it. What's actually happening now with Link is we're seeing an actual weekly buying demand come in because there's companies that are loading up to build a Chainlink strategic token reserve. So amazing for Link. One coin to definitely keep your eyes on is Link. I think there could be a large amount of buying pressure that could come from this. Matty, show us the chart, mate. What are we looking at?
I'm going to show you guys this. So I actually did not know about this information until pretty much we did a little bit more research today, and we found this out just early this morning. But guys, we had a look at Chainlink on Monday, and this is a token I monitor every single week. So the guys that are in Empire, we look at Link religiously because
it's a good coin. There's good tech behind it. I'm in it for the tech.
In it for the tech. But this coin here moves very, like the way I look at it, it's very swift the way it moves. It moves predictable, right? So you'll see here, guys, I'm going to make this really, really simple. This level here called support and resistance, it's at $16. If you go back and have a look, whenever Link gets above that $16 mark, it gets a nice healthy push, right? And you can see here, it's happened multiple occasions. Now, where Link is at the moment, I charted this up on Monday. I said to the team, you can go have a look at this in Empire. I post all the charts on Monday. Right, we had the nice pump, we got the breakdown, which is the retest, and from there we've had nearly a 20% gain. For a spot position.
For a spot position, that's big.
Well, look, I just want to be very accurate, right? 17.92%, just in case anyone calls us out. But the fact of the matter, guys, on a spot position to make 17.92% on not a shitcoin, on something that is within the top 30, what's Link at now?
Link is in the top.
It's in the top 30, I'm pretty sure.
Definitely in the top 30.
But to make that, guys, this thing is absolutely popped off in comparison to a lot of the altcoins, the way they've moved.
17.
This thing has done absolutely banger this week. So congrats to the guys, because I know a lot of people jumped on this trade. This went really, really well. Everyone obviously does their own analysis on this, guys. I just share sort of what I'm looking at. You can see we've had a breakout right now on Link, though. However, even though it's exciting, we are up against resistance. So I never buy into resistance. I like to wait for price to come back down, or at least find a level of support or break above this zone. And what I'd be looking at personally is waiting for this to sort of come up, retake this volume zone, and then my target for Link would be $21.81 to be exact. So from where we are at this point in time, we are now another 14% potential move that could occur on Link. I think a lot of this is going to come down to what Bitcoin does, obviously, over the next 24, 48 hours and into basically Monday, because Saturday volume and Sunday volume, I don't really take much notice of.
Well, one thing that I'm really watching is actually Bitcoin itself, because, you know, I'll just quickly show you what I'm looking at. Matty's the TA guy. I'm the fundamentals guy. So we're both named Matty. How good's that? That Matty is the TA guy who looks at the charts. I do the fundamentals. But, you know, one thing that I find really important is throughout this bull market, we've found that we've had these nice, beautiful sideways channels time after time. Let me just draw a box so you can see that a little bit better.
And what do they all do? Sweep the lows.
They sweep the lows. That's right. So you can see up, down, bit of ping pong, bang, down, sweep the low. As long as we can hold now above that 115,680 level, and when I say hold, we could dip below in a wick. We could dip below. That doesn't mean it's dead. If that candle still comes up and closes on the daily above, I'll be still looking pretty bullish, and then we start to potentially head up towards that next 130K target. But that's where a lot of the altcoins will really flourish if we see that happen. And look, I know usually August, it's a bit of a choppy month. It's not usually the best month at all for crypto. But given the news that we have, I think I'm really just trying to hold it out, get in my positions, just in case we do drip down towards the end of August. And then, you know, coming into September, I think it's going to be I think in September, we're going to make some life-changing money. For some of you, potentially wife-changing money.
I'm going to show you something that's going to correlate with what you're sharing. Bring this up.
Show me.
For a lot of you guys that know TA, I talk about this a lot, and I follow the Bitcoin dominance chart just to sort of get an understanding when potentially we could see altcoin runs in correlation with Bitcoin. Because when you want altcoins to run, I want them to run alongside either Bitcoin going up or obviously Bitcoin just moving sideways. So you're not sort of drawing down the fact of Bitcoin tanking and then hoping for the alts to go up. But what we can see now, guys, and I've been monitoring this basically the whole time, but on Monday we had another quick look at this, and you can see here from Wednesday morning, the alt market started to run, right? So you can see we had the volume zone.
Bitcoin dominance.
This is Bitcoin dominance,
shit,
right?
I missed that.
Yeah, so we've had a bear flag that's been presented. We put in what's called a lower high, right? Volume zone created itself, and we're actually broken down out of that. Now, this is where it gets really interesting, okay? So you look here, we are at the volume zone at the moment on the daily, and you can see here, go back to basically the start of March. This is a strong level here, right? This is a strong level. However, if this starts to close below, look at the range on Bitcoin dominance. It's 5.74%. I want to put this into perspective because we just had a 5.9% breakdown, and we saw Dogecoin and things pump 65%, Link pump 40%. If we get another massive breakdown out of this point, similar to what you're saying, and Bitcoin runs alongside it, it's going to be a fun time.
That will be that whole alt season that everyone talks about, right?
The narrative of alt season.
Everyone loves season.
But over the alt season, where's the alt season?
That actually will be the said alt season. You're right, though.
Right, you have to get along. You have to get alongside this stuff. This stuff here,
40% gains off how much of a dip? 40% gains off how much of a dip? How much did the Bitcoin dominance dip?
Oh, we dipped 5.9% and Doge ran 65%.
So hypothetically.
So if we run that again, 5.7%, hypothetically, if Bitcoin maintains itself or pumps alongside it, we could get some really decent runs again on the altcoin market.
I think we're gearing up good for September. If you don't know what you're doing with crypto, jump in Empire and start learning now, or miss out and then complain about it. Buy the top and then go and tell everyone that crypto's a scam because you got wrecked. Anyway,
we spoke about that today, didn't we?
So let's get on with more of the news. So we've had altcoins are looking good. Bitcoin longer term looking good. Want to see it hold $115,680. That is my level of support.
Just on a side note, before you put the new news, I want to see it get 30.
30
Right.
likes on our video. Wait, let me refresh. We might
Refresh
already
it.
have 30.
We're at 26. There's 44 people watching. We've got the next big altcoin news we're going to drop here as well. This token's absolutely
We got
pumped
28 likes.
this
Guys,
week.
if you're liking this video, if you're getting some insight and some knowledge and some alpha, please smash that like button and hit subscribe. It actually helps us out so much, eh? Especially if you're on YouTube.
YouTube doesn't help us otherwise.
I'm streaming this to my Facebook as well. We don't ever worry too much about Facebook, more so YouTube. Helps us to get this out. This is probably one of the biggest streams we've had so far.
This is going well.
It's doing really well. So, guys, thank you so much. Milan unliked. Somebody please let Milan have it in the chat. Anyway, so let's go and take a look at more alpha because there's more altcoins that I'm looking at. So first off is whales are accumulating up to 1 billion Ethena tokens, ENA. Maddie, give us a look.
What's the crypto? What's the market? What's the supply for ENA?
The supply for ENA
Whilst you bring that up,
it's quite big. You open up the charts.
I'll open the chart. You bring that up. So guys, I want to show you, this was brought to my attention on my live call actually. One of the students said, Matt, can you have a look at ENA because this thing is looking like it's absolutely going to rip. And that's what I love about our community. It's not just me presenting stuff. It's, hey, Matt, can you have a look at this? Let's have a look at some charts together, bring this all together. You can see over the last couple of weeks, we've had 158%
pump. 1 billion of ENA. Wait, the total cap of ENA.
What's circulating supply?
6.6 billion. So someone went and bought 1/6 pretty much.
Why though? What does ENA do?
Bro, ENA is the stablecoin infrastructure. So you know, recently they passed those bills to allow for stablecoins.
So this is the example of me and Ceds, the difference of what we do. I'm TA, just heavy TA fundamentals, man.
Right. So ENA is the stablecoin. They've got their own stablecoin essentially. It's stablecoin infrastructure. So when they passed the Genius Act and all that, it all benefited ENA, right? And ENA and Maker, which is now rebranding into Sky. But show us the charts. Give us a look at from a technical aspect.
I'm going to show you this from a weekly standpoint at the first.
We're going to chat, who are you, crypto banter? We're actually doing real banter here, though. Like, we actually take the piss out of
I reckon it might be better than banter. We don't have 80 people working for us, but
we don't. Yeah,
but we do love the guys at Crypto Banter. We haven't personally met them, and we have partied with them.
We have definitely partied with Ran and Maddie and the guys there.
Yes,
they are fantastic.
They are gentlemen.
And what's his name? Sheldon. They're a good bunch of blokes, but we do our own thing. But anyway, Maddie.
Get the chart up.
Yeah, I thought I did. Press the wrong button as per usual. Go, hit it.
All right. So, guys, like I was saying, we had a 158% push off the volume zone here on ENA. And now we've basically had a little bit of a pullback. Now, I'm going to set it. You can see I've got an alert set here at 52 cents on ENA at the moment. I'll show you guys why, because we've basically had what we can see here is this big double bottom form, which is a reversal pattern from a TA perspective. Oh. Right? So I am looking for this to pull back a little bit. Now, naturally, markets go up, markets come down. They can't go up forever. It's just not how they work. But I am looking at this, and you can see basically from, I would say, February, we had a nice accumulation on ENA all the way down to 24 cents. That would have been a massive buy, actually. That would have been huge.
Huge.
But I'm looking at this at the moment. I'm looking for price to cool off a little bit. And I've got alerts you can see set at 52 cents. If this comes back down to 46, I'll be surprised. But it's also very good, in my opinion. I'll look for a buy opportunity because that there would be a very good level of support to come back towards. But from me looking at it from this perspective, we've had the run. I wanted it to cool off a little bit.
Yep.
And then I'll have a look at things.
No, look, that's fair. I think a bit of a cool off. But definitely one to add to your watch lists.
Definitely.
One to take a look out for. Now, up next, we have some pretty exciting news. Who here got caught up in the FTX dramas where you had some money on FTX?
Hopefully not many people.
Hopefully not many.
Don't want many people to get
FTX
caught in that.
is going to be paying out their creditors more USDT, and that comes on August the 15th. So, 7 days. Next week. Today, next week, we'll be doing a live stream, and people will have an extra $1.9 billion worth of USDT.
I want to put it, let's ask
in their accounts.
Do you think that's going to have an effect on the markets? $1.9 billion, because this is where some information gets put a poll. All right.
Will FTX paybacks pump the market?
I want to get a show of hands here because this is where the crypto X comes in and people go, you know what, we're going to pump.
Oh, crypto
and then you got
Rover
other people that, this is going to go completely down to the floor. And could you say Crypto Rover?
Yeah.
He does put up a lot of crap. I'm happy to call out. Let's see what people come up with. No.
Oh, we're seeing a couple of no's come
no's.
through. So,
what about the yeses?
guys, we're going to have a look now at what happened previously. All right, we're going to have a look at what happened previously. I've called up my friend ChatGPT, and here's what he's come back and said to us. So,
we did cross-check this reference just as an FYI.
we did. So, the first round of payouts occurred on February the 18th, 2025, and there was about 1.2 billion of payout. The market briefly dipped. Market stayed bearish. Alt optimism faded, and then it recovered a while after. The second round, this was when 5 billion got tipped into the market. There was brief optimism, but all alts basically retreated. But it did set up the market to get ready for a rally. And now we're going to see what's going to happen this time. Look, my prediction is, right?
The big one there, guys, just to take note of that, $5 billion was released on May.
Hey, but where was the chart May 30th? But let's go have a look.
Double.
Where was it? Where were we in May? So we go back, we take a look. May. All right. So May 30th, when that happened, that actually more or less marked a bit of a top. Look at that. Yeah. Before we came down a little bit more.
We were talking about this because you got to remember, guys, in these situations, when they're releasing this money back to people, and people have funds tied up for.
Yeah, but they're getting back USDT.
Yeah, but still, you got money tied up. Now, the question is, do you want to put it back into crypto, or you go, shit, I got absolutely destroyed? Do I run? Do I run for the hills? So it's something to always take note of. Always look at two scenarios. Look at the positive. Look at the potential impact it could have.
Look at this.
How people are feeling about it as well.
Both times that the FTX funds were released, we actually got a pullback.
Yeah.
There you go. So you're probably going to see a lot of.
What was the results of the poll? What do people put in there?
Well, so far it's 50-50. It's 50% yes, 50% no in the poll. So you're probably going to see all over
Mixed
Twitter.
bag. All
over Twitter, every Tom, Dick, and Abdul come out and telling you how good these FTX payments are going to be. And anyway, but I don't think it's going to be exactly that great. We're going to, because we actually got more than 30 likes on this video.
Ooh.
We're going to actually give you guys an altcoin at the end of this. I'm going to give it to. I'm going to give them that little hidden gem. The hidden gem is coming out. They're going to see it. All right. Nah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. There's two altcoins.
I want to have a look at a couple more charts.
Wait.
Let's have a look at my
we can do some more live analysis as well. Because, let's see how many likes we got. I'm just going to refresh it. So right now we're sitting on 33, okay? I'm going to give away one altcoin, hidden gem. That's about $7 million market cap. If we get to 50, I'm going to give away two, okay? That's the deal.
What I also want to shout out here is, I want to show what coin do you want me to look at from a TA perspective? Drop it in the chat. This could be anything. But if you give me a shit coin that's on Deck Screener, I'm not looking at it because that there doesn't go nowhere. But guys, I want to see
the one
in
that
the
I was going to share is on Deck Screener though.
All right, but
you're too bad. You got to look into it now. No.
I want to see what people put up there. This is an opportunity to drop anything in the chat. Any token, we'll have a look at it live.
All right, last thing, guys, when it comes to the alpha, before we just do some live analysis and before Maddie talks about his shit frog coin.
Put the frog straight away.
The XRP community, congratulations. Your whole appeal, the case is now over. No more restraint being held on XRP. Personally, I can't stand XRP.
Do we see $5 XRP?
Maddie,
soon?
give us a chart.
Do we
Show
see
us
it?
what's happening with XRP.
Oh, let me find
I know
it.
that XRP is next on the list to get an ETF after Solana. So I think Solana's going to happen before the end of the year, and that could pump the shit out of Solana. But I think
I'll tell you my next target. I'll tell you my next target. All right. I'll tell you guys my next target for XRP because we've had the breakout, right? We're nearly there. We're not past the all-time highs yet. All-time highs on XRP were around $3.63. Now, we've had some significant pump, right, alongside the rest of the market, which has been good. What did we pump, right? Last night, we had a significant move, 12% on XRP.
Can you believe I was that sick last night that I didn't trade? I missed that whole run. I was laying in bed with the flu. I'm burning.
You asked the guys. I was on Zoom with them last night. We jumped off, and then I jumped on them for 10 minutes. I said, "Look, I'm going to bed. Good luck to you. I'm just.
I got the big.
I had
run,
no energy at all.
I was too sick.
But this year, I'll show you my next target specifically for XRP. If we can break and hold above $3.50-ish, $3.56, I'm calling $4.20. XRP will be the next big pump.
420, blaze it, ladies and gentlemen.
You guys can mark this down. You guys can mark this down. I'll have an alert here. You can send me a message. I can pretty much, look, never a guarantee. We never say guarantees, but I'm looking at $4.20 as the next big resistance point for XRP.
$4.20.
So that is a 25% move from memory, from where we're from now. Yeah, 23%. So that's my next target. Fibonacci's king. I absolutely love it. It helps me to predict where the potential breakout targets are, even if they're not actually present and price has never been up there before. And I'm looking at $4.20 to be that point.
All right, so we got some coins to chart in the chat, but before we do that, we're just going to cover one last thing. I did promise I was going to share you guys a specific altcoin, and basically this is a little snippet of some of the alpha that I give in my Tuesday night premium calls for those Empire members. If you want access, make sure to click the link in our description to jump into
I did
Empire.
see a lot of people ask where to sign up, guys. There is a link
It's in the description of this video.
Description.
So there was one coin that I had my eyes on. This is a more high-risk coin. Don't get me wrong. It's a little hidden gem, I like to call it. There's a reason why I'm following this. I'm sharing the wrong screen. Just give me 2 seconds while I find it. Basically, when it comes to my live calls, like this is how many tabs I usually have open. Like
You have a fair few tabs.
you can't see them on this stream, but let me just open up the tab. So, Maddie, maybe if you do want to... Nah, found it.
Got it? You good?
Yeah, you're going to give it a second, man. I can
I
can see my stream starting to lag.
Nah, we're good.
Maddie, take over for 2 seconds while this loads. So,
All
Maddie,
right.
start doing some... We see that Rising Sun has asked for a chart on Aptos. Maddie, hit him with the chart on Aptos.
All right, fine.
Do not open up your little Pepe. Come on.
You want APT? You know, I deleted that the other day off my watch list. I had enough of it. I was sick of looking at it.
Show us.
All right, let me bring it up again. I honestly, I
Guys,
deleted it the other day.
We get another 13 likes on this video, and I'm going to give you the second altcoin. It's actually a hard fork of Solana, believe it or not.
Let's have a full look at this.
14 more likes, and we're going to make that happen.
Man, this thing is down in the dumps. Wasn't this meant to be like some great fundamental token that was going to make life-changing discoveries?
Aptos?
Yeah.
Hey, it's not terrible. The actual...
Mate, this thing is down in the dumps.
I'm going to start ripping out some charts here.
It's doing some bad stuff, brother. It is very low.
Look, it's making a double bottom, but Maddie,
but you got to look at this. Look, all right, we're going to break this down, right? Right now, we're in a big accumulation, right down the bottom here, right? I want to give you guys some of the easiest alpha that I present to a lot of students on a regular basis, right? This is very basic stuff, but also very helpful. This here is right at the bottom at the moment. Right at the bare base. If you look at the range, this is what I always put into perspective. Look at the range between this support and resistance.
Oh, that's not bad.
It is 73%, right? A lot of people zone in. They go into this 1 hour time frame, this 30-minute time frame.
Crypto Scarface, Craptos.
But guys, this is a big deal. When I look at the charts, the first thing I do, you can ask the members in Empire, I look at weekly levels. You know why? The weekly levels show the real story. That's my personal preference, but it shows the story of what's overall happening in the market, overall happening to that particular token. You can see with this, if you zoom out, you can see where realistically the major levels are for support and resistance. If I'm looking at this at the moment, we do have a nice little double bottom forming, which is fantastic. We are up against the 50 EMA on the daily. This is what I'd be thinking, something along the lines like this. You break this down a little bit further, looking at the 4 hour time frame, and what are we at the point? We are basically at the big volume zone. So if I'm looking at this, in all honesty, I'm going to set an alert here, back down at $4.39. See if you get a pullback, retest what I would say is this level here. You'll see this. We can get a retest there, and I'll break this down a little bit further for everyone. This is where we're at the moment. Adjust this.
And run it straight up to the top of that range.
And that'll be the range. And this is one of the big things I love about TA. You'll see here, what this is signifying is basically buying pressure stepped in off this volume zone, right? And now you can see that we've actually put in a higher low. So market structure starts to change. Representing buyers have stepped in further into the market. If you want to be really fancy, we apply more Fibonacci. And what do we have here? Like clockwork, bounce off the 618.
Yeah.
TA is a jet of a process once you learn it.
I want to share you something as well about Aptos. So one thing that I look at as a fundamental analyst is, let me just open up Ced's screen and press Ced so you can see my beautiful Mandarin jumper. Let's go. So
you
can
like a traffic cone.
I do look like a traffic cone.
A shout out to Blowfin. They have some great jumpers.
Bloody sexy traffic cone, that's for sure.
Thank you, Mr. Vage.
Thank you so much for hooking us up with the merch. So,
and I got a hairdryer from Blowfin as well.
I know he sent me a hairdryer too, and I got no hair. Anyway, what a man. So you can see here the top 5 chains which have got good percentage change in fees over the last 7 days, and the top one is actually Aptos. So take a second to think about this. When you were to trade traditional stocks, what would you do? You'd basically look at their earnings reports, and then you'd base the stock price based off the earnings. That'd be one of the parts that you'd factor in there,
Yes.
right? One of the parts, you wouldn't just base it off the earnings itself, but it'd be a part of the factor, right? Now, you have a look at Aptos, and what we're seeing right now is the active addresses on Aptos. Now, that's not just people going on MetaMask and just creating adding their MetaMask to the Aptos network. This is actually addresses that are active right now. There's a 37% increase in Aptos active addresses, and the transactions that you're seeing has a 22% change, where the fees, if you look at all these other networks, even Ton is bringing in $127,000 worth of fees. Aptos is bringing in $314K worth of fees.
Oh,
okay. So there's something big that's cooking on Aptos right now.
I was going to say, do we have any idea what's cooking over there?
Well, we leave that for the premium calls. There's definitely something cooking on Aptos. I did share it in the other tweets here. I spoke about it on my call on Tuesday. But let's compare the market caps now, right? So Aptos, $3 billion market cap. Okay, what's Ton got? Ton's got a bit more tech behind it. It's sitting at $8 billion market cap. To put it in perspective,
that's nearly 150% gain.
It's nearly 150% gain, but Aptos is doing almost 3 times the amount of profit that Ton is doing. So I come back and I look at this and I say, well, I think Aptos is a bit undervalued. Like, what do you guys think? Let me know in the chat. But I did promise you guys an altcoin, and I want to share with you this altcoin. This altcoin is called Darwin. Big shout out to Trader Samsey who showed this. And then if I get 50 likes on this stream, I'm going to show you guys the other DGen one. Now, this is a very, very high risk coin. This thing it's cheap. It's only a $2 million market cap. It could go to zero. I've only put $100 into this just because I know the amount of risk that can come from it, right? And you guys as well, if you are looking at a coin like this, make sure that you are very, very risk adverse if you decide to buy it. But the reason why I decided to buy it is because there's basically a company that's come out and they're also looking at building a strategic reserve to purchase up to 200 million Darwin tokens, which would effectively be 20% of the supply.
That is what? It's sitting at 2 million market cap now. You pump $100 million into it.
It's a lot.
That's a shitload.
It's heaps. It's basically an AI tech company. Yeah. Well, this is the way I thought of it, right? So the people that are going to be buying this, their first amount, they're going to buy 50 million at 2 cents. Then they're going to buy another 50 million at 5 cents, another 50 million at 10 cents, and then another last batch of 50 million at 50 cents.
So they're predicting this is going to go to 50 cents.
Not predicting that it's going to go to 50 cents, but the last buy will be at 50 cents, right? So if they're paying 50 cents, and these are a big...
What's the token price right now?
It's cheap. It's
not even a cent. It's half a cent.
So that's what I mean. If that goes to 50 cents, then that's a 100x play right there.
I'm not... Those people can't see me in the thing there, but I might be doing...
There's definitely a lot of risk involved.
I might be putting a little bit of cash on.
Look, I didn't put much on it because, look, it is high risk, and if I can turn $100 into 10 grand doing it, I may have put a bit more than $100, but I know for disclaimer purposes, because we know just that this could go to zero.
$100 and this goes to 10 cents, happy days.
Mate,
that's another holiday.
Well, that's what I mean.
That's the way I look at it.
10 grand here, whatever. Look, I've got a little bit more than that, but let's just say I've put a Solana or two. By 100x that, I've got 200 Solana. Well, that's probably not a bad day for me, but I'm making sure that when I'm investing...
Good day in the office.
Yeah, when I'm investing in coins like this, though, I really do make sure that I only risk what I can afford to lose. Like, I'm happy. You never really go into this for the get rich quick, or you wouldn't, finance your house to do this, because chances are there is a high risk it's going to go to zero. Now, in 3 more likes, and if we get those 3 more likes, I'm going to give you the second altcoin. That's a little hidden gem. Matty,
let's look at... Crypto Scarface is meant to be doing his London session in Empire at the moment. He's stuck on the call. Sorry, guys.
Sorry, mate. We'll give you... Carlin, mate, we'll let you take over the Empire Zoom very shortly, and you can do your live stream and do your London changeover. So one of the other coins that we've been asked to chart is HBAR.
HBAR. Oh...
Come on, Matty, give us a HBAR
I wanted to show you guys XLM because that thing is on a tear.
All right, you know what?
I'm going to go to XLM.
Why not both?
Why not both?
Was that old Paso ad way?
Yeah.
No.
I'm going to show you XLM first. This one here, absolutely ripped. Now I charted this perfectly on Monday night again. I said to the team, and it was one Eddie actually. He goes, Matt, can you have a look at XLM? We had a look, and I said we've got the breakout, which was fantastic. Late Monday, we got a big push. Now, the one thing I wanted to hint out to you guys, this is what I look at. When we get these big pushes, there was actually a volume zone that was created here at the point of time. I said, look, we're over purchase on the CCI, probably going to get the retest. We came back down. We got the retest that I was looking for off the volume zone. This is also the 618 Fibonacci level as well, for those that understand it, and also the 200 EMA. Now, I'm not going to buy XLM right now.
Nah,
why am I not going to buy XLM right now?
Pump.
Because it is plus 300 on the CCI, completely overpurchased, up against the volume zone, up against resistance. So if you did miss this one, this thing absolutely mooned 20% again. Spot trade 20%, huge. Leverage trade even bigger. But guys, take this into consideration. What is the same move? You got the high low that comes in. You got the breakout, comes back down, retest the breakout, absolutely moonshot. So this thing did extremely well. Something I wanted to punch out to everyone, because people get caught up now. I've got to buy in. You're buying up a 20% pump. What's going to happen? It's probably going to get a bit of pullback. Even if it pulls back to say that 44-cent mark, I'm going to set an alert here. You can see that one there. That there is a nice little level of support that I'll be watching for very, very closely. And now,
before you do that, I just thought of something.
what?
If you were on our live stream last Friday, put a comment in the chat right now, because we spoke about Sonic.
We did speak about Sonic.
We did speak about Sonic, and we did put an alert out on Sonic.
I did put an alert on Sonic.
And that alert said Stella is a G if it gets hit. Let's see how that played out. Because
where's my Sonic chart?
I don't know, man. I've got 1,000,001 tabs open again. This always happens. I can feel the computer starting to really fatigue itself. But let's just have a quick look at how that played out. Guys, if you haven't already, make sure you smash like, hit subscribe. We do go live every single Friday to bring you that crypto alpha and wisdom. We do live analysis for you. Sonic.
It hit.
It hit. And it bounced directly off the 1.13. That's exactly where I said it was going to hit. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you set that alert with us, congratulations.
Look at the pump it had once off that.
11% pump directly off the alert. Yeah, it dipped a little bit below first.
That's normal.
You know what? We were pretty bloody close, I think. Matty, what do you reckon, mate?
Mate, that's a big, I would say right now there's a big morning star at the bottom there on the daily time frame as well.
The alert was right there at the 1.13.
Right now, if I was to say, look, I'm going to put myself on it again. Right? I'm going to show you guys.
The bottom picker, eh?
You can put my screen up there for a second,
sure
right? I'm going to show you guys one thing here. So we had the big morning star on the daily time frame. Now, if I'm looking at this in particular, I'm measuring the move of that morning star. So I'll show you guys here on the daily, right at the base here. I'm running this up. So I'll show you guys what this looks like from this perspective. I'm very particular about these levels. Now, if I'm looking at this, it just hit the volume zone again. Everyone's going to be like, Matt, what are these volume zones? Because they're epic. The guys know what they are. But I'm looking at this, probably get a bit of a pullback. I reckon maybe to around that 29-cent mark. Hold there, then I'll look for potentially something else. But right now, that hit to an absolute T. Look, 113.
That's bang off the button. Like, honestly, we nailed that.
You can't nail that any cleaner.
So congratulations, guys, if you set an alert there and you managed to take some action on that. We're never going to tell you exactly what price to buy, but I'm going to tell you exactly where I'm setting my alerts, and you can make up your own decisions.
Yes.
All right. So let's see if we got the 50 likes. Did I say 40 or did I say 50?
50.
I did say 50? Well, you know what? You got to press no screen.
Oh, we're going to put that thing here.
You know what? I like you guys. So what I'm going to do is we got 41 likes. I'm going to give you my last altcoin pick, and then we're going to wrap it up because
we've got to do one thing before we wrap it up.
Oh, go do your thing.
Do your thing now.
No, you go first.
You go first.
You go first.
You go first. This is a tradition.
Go. Do your little.
It's a tradition.
You're on.
Oh, fine.
I don't condone this coin. It is definitely gambling and casino. This is another.
I say this every single week. This thing could absolutely go to zero. I could have just burnt $1,300 investing in it. One thing I wanted to
$1,300 for you is a drop in the ocean, mate.
Look, it doesn't matter. I only risk what I'm willing to do. One thing I actually wanted to touch base on in a serious note on this one, guys. If this does actually get released and launch, I'm going to say actually happen because I don't know if it's actually going to happen. And one thing I want to say is this has what's called a 3-month cliff, which means basically when this token actually gets released, you can't access your tokens for 3 months. All right. The next phase of this is a 5% TGE. So what that means is every 5% of your token allocation will be released after the 3-month period. So essentially, it's going to take 20 months for you to get all your tokens.
Jesus.
However, what I will say, if they do raise to stage 19, it is at the scale of what Pepe raised when it launched. The original.
The OG Pepe.
The OG Pepe.
One thing
I
you do
am
need to
very
be
much fingers crossed, toes crossed, tongue crossed, everything crossed, Cedda's legs crossed, just to hopefully get a good pump out of this one. But like I said, guys, this is a very, very small portion of my portfolio. It is for fun. It is basically me going to the Crown Casino and going red or black. But I did want to take a little bit of punt on this one. I have a little fun bag.
Yeah, just one thing to take note of, just because the last people are paying a certain price to get in on the last round, that doesn't mean that when it opens up on the market, that's the price it's going to be.
Correct.
And you could imagine that when people do get their coin unlocks, I think that some people will potentially sell, especially if it does 10x, 50x, 100x.
I'm going to be very clear. Mate, this thing pumps. I'm dumping the entire bag.
Are ya?
I'm not investing in this
shit bloke.
I do not.
What a shit bloke.
The
Doesn't
guys
even
in
hold
the
it for the
chat
boys.
and the ladies in the chat know me very well. Am I an investor or am I a trader? Do I think the tech is fantastic? I do not think any tech is fantastic. I'm in this game to make money, not believe in the tech.
Oh, you only got $1,000 worth, so I don't think you'll move the market that much. Anyway.
And if we get a 10x, it's 10 Gs, and mate, that is going to be a happy payday.
I don't think it's going to move the market 10 Gs, so I think you'll be fine. You're not a
I'm not a whale.
You're not a major bag holder.
I'm not
of
a
it,
Pepe whale.
Yeah, no, well, that's the
Definitely
main thing.
not.
All right, well, last coin we're going to share, guys, and then we're going to wrap it up. If you haven't already, make sure you hit subscribe, hit like, and hit the notification bell so you're alerted next time we're live. But there is a coin which is being dubbed as a hard fork of Solana. It's down a bit today. It's made to be like a whole meme launch pad. It's currently sitting at $24 million market cap. There is a lot of people talking about this all over X and many other platforms. Ah, shit. Sorry. 1 second.
You know what? Can I just say, when you first told me this coin, I thought it was blue cheese, like Gorgonzola.
Gorgonzola. It is called Gorbunga. It's got the, is that the Cookie Monster? Who is he? Who's that little icon?
That icon is not Cookie Monster, Oscar the Grouch.
Oscar the Grouch, that's
Very
it.
similar Oscar the Grouch.
Once again, another extremely high-risk play. It has a fantastic accumulation range here that's presenting itself. If we get a nice breakout of above, 3.3 cents there, I think this could head up very easily to around the 5-6 cents. Not financial advice.
So this isn't in the same category as Little Pepe?
This isn't in the same category as Little Pepe. What I like about these coins, this one in particular, is it has a large amount of trading volume. You can see that every day it's pumping. When I did call on this and I spoke about it on Tuesday,
yes,
it was sitting at around 7 million. Today now, even with the market dump, there's still $7 million worth of trading volume. You go have a look.
There's a lot of shit coins launching on it, isn't it? Isn't that the whole thing? Well, or am I wrong in saying that?
There is a whole bunch of shit coins that are going to be launching on the Gorbunga.
That's their whole thing, right?
Yeah, there is that. But also, you need to take a look here, and you can see that right now it's not really listed on really any major exchanges. It's on Pump Swap.
HTX is probably their biggest one.
HTX,
not even.
Which is pretty quiet these days. MEXC. And when you look at this, you say, well, at $7 million a day in volume, it's a matter of time, I believe, that some exchange like Gate, like BitGet, like maybe even Blowfin, like the hoodie I'm wearing, OKX, probably they'll come a little bit later. I think they maybe wait for like 30 million to 50 million a day. But like your Gate, your Blowfin, your BitGet, coins that are this kind of volume, exchanges want them because these coins bring volume, and when they bring volume, they generate fees for the exchange. The exchange that makes money.
That's how they clip the ticket.
That's how they exactly right. That's how they clip the ticket, right?
They all got to eat.
Exactly. So they wait to find coins like this, and I think once this passes even 10 million a day, I think it's going to start being looked at by a bunch of exchanges. What do we know? What happens when a coin gets listed on an exchange? We tend to see bullish buying pressure when it does get listed.
We get more volume. That's why.
Exactly
Natural
right.
laws of supply and demand.
That's right. You also allow for a larger audience to now come out and buy this coin. You think in the space of crypto, not everyone knows how to use their Solana wallet. Not everyone knows how to use, Phantom and Meteora and Jupiter. But
Well, keep going. Sorry, something happened on Phantom recently.
Did it?
You can trade futures on Phantom wallet.
You can.
Full futures.
Maybe we can do a call about that next week.
We'll have to touch base on that one. That's an interesting one.
Well, guys, we have to run because Carlin's going to host his live market scan now in Empire. He's going to be trading live for the London
session.
Open on Friday. If you do want to get access to that, make sure you jump in Empire, activate your free trial, and you'll be able to jump straight onto that call. Bloke's been pumping some killer results from that call.
Dude, he did it, what was it, 2,000% yesterday?
Did he? A machine, man. He's a bloody machine,
2,000%.
So if you want access to that call, it's there. Click the link, sign up, and just jump in a 14-day trial. It's free. You can come and try it out. If you don't like it, cancel it. But guys, we're going to leave you there for this week. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you share this video with your mates. And,
thank you very much, everyone. Have a great weekend.
See you all next Friday. So make sure you got that notification bell hit. Have a great weekend. Bye.